This is the story of The Adventure Begins. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. Inside the Photon Center, two teams squared off in a mock battle. Chris Jarvis and David Reynolds ducked behind a wall. Chris turned to his friend.
When I give the signal, go!
As the other team opened fire, Chris nodded, and David dashed out, his phaser flashing. Chris dove across the floor, aiming his phaser.
David, it's jammed! Watch out!
But it was too late. David was zapped. Afterward, they headed for the counter to return their equipment. Chris smiled at the pretty teenage girl who worked there.
How's it going, Denise?
She took their phasers and turned away. David grinned.
Hey, you really have a way with women.
Don't worry, David, that'll change after I win the big tournament Saturday.
When Saturday arrived, Chris was at the Photon Center early. He snapped on his power pack and saluted himself in the mirror.
I'm no longer Chris Jarvis. I'm Bhodi Li, Photon Warrior.
Deep in space, 5 shadowy figures watched him on a view screen. They spoke among themselves.
That's a silly name.
Bhodi Li.
No, Chris Jarvis.
Whatever his name is, he may be joining us soon.
In the Photon Center, Bhodi Li's red team faced their opponents, the green team. Lights flashed, and the players swung into action. A phaser blast angled toward Bhodi. He ducked, and it hit David instead. David glared at him.
Thanks a lot, hot dog. Watch out for your teammates once in a while.
Ignoring him, Bhodi glanced up at the scoreboard.
Wow! 2,500 points! One more and I beat the record!
As he took aim, the players around him froze mid-stride, and a mysterious blue light appeared. The light reached out and enveloped Bhodi. It swirled around and around him. Then, without warning, Bhodi Li vanished. Moments later, he reappeared in an alien landscape.
Hey, where is everybody?
A strange voice came out of nowhere.
Young Bhodi Li, prepare to do battle.
Bhodi whirled just in time to see a 7-foot lizard in battle gear charging straight at him. The lizard swung its tail, knocking him to the ground. Bhodi aimed at the giant lizard. The blast caught its tail, searing the end off.
Hey, this phaser shoots real beams!
Bhodi aimed again, but the lizard opened its mouth, uncurled its long tongue, and snatched his weapon. As Bhodi dashed for cover, another phaser appeared in his hand.
Where did this come from? What's going on here?
Suddenly, a second creature materialized. Part man, part robot. It was holding a long staff. The creature swung at him, unleashing a fiery lightning bolt. Bhodi instinctively dove out of the way. Bhodi landed at the feet of a beautiful woman.
Wow, am I glad to see a friendly face.
She whirled 2 sticks above her head, then let them go. Bhodi ducked, and the sticks went flying past him. Bhodi aimed his phaser.
That's it! No more Mr. Nice Guy!
He zapped the young woman, then somersaulted and blasted the other creatures into oblivion. As the last shot landed, blue lights surrounded him, and once again, he vanished. When he reappeared, he was standing before a giant computer screen. The screen flashed as the computer spoke.
Welcome to the real Photon Center, Bhodi Li. You were on Intellistar, home of the Photon Warriors, and I am Mom.
Huh? Is that really you?
Not that Mom, Bhodi Li. I am leader of the Photon Alliance.
Bhodi turned around and saw the 3 warriors he had just defeated, along with 2 others.
Who are they?
This is Leon from planet Gator, Tibia, schooled in ancient John-Nin fighting, and Lord Bathan, master wizard from Seltar. Meet also Earthling computer genius, Parsifal, and Uncle Pike, master of disguise.
A rainbow of colors shimmered around Bhodi, forming a uniform.
Since you have passed the test, you now join them as the 6th Photon Warrior.
Far away, in a dark corner of the universe, lay a desolate dwelling known as Scar Castle. Inside, the evil warlord of R spoke to his lieutenant, Warrior.
I sense a new strength in the Photon Alliance. Find out who or what it is, and then you know what to do. Of course, my lord. Let the darkness grow.
A beam of dark light shot forth from the warlord, engulfing Warrior. His projection split off and disappeared. Back on Intellistar, the giant lizard named Leon stepped forward.
Sorry if hurt you, Bhodi, but had to test you. You speak English?
Bhodi stared in amazement.
No, but all who are in Photon Alliance have ability to understand each other. We'll explain now. Before time was Photon, only energy source in existence. But Photon exploded. Planets grew from Photon energy. Photon life. Photon light.
Tibia nodded and went on.
But evil forces seek to destroy photon crystals throughout the universe. If they win, Bhodi Li, there will be only darkness and death.
That's all fine, Tivia, but where do I fit in?
Mom was the first guardian of Photon. She needed help and created the Photon game to train warriors.
Leon clapped Bhodi's shoulder.
Only best players can be Photon warriors. Now, Bhodi Li, you join us.
Before Bhodi could reply, an alarm rang out, and Mom flashed an image on the view screen.
Distress signal from planet Granite. An Alliance scout ship carrying photon crystals has gone down. There's an alien spaceship in the quadrant. Hurry!
Bhodi crossed his arms defiantly.
Wait a minute, Mom. I never said I'd join you guys.
We have no time to argue. Bhodi Li, you stay here with Parsival and me. Everyone else, prepare for flight.
A blue light radiated from Mom, transporting the others to the small ship Zephyr. Soon, they had landed on the desert planet of Granite, near the wreckage of a small Alliance craft. Leon checked the life detector.
See faint reading, but hurry! Pilot life energy fading.
As they rushed toward the craft, an invisible force caught the Photon Warriors and lifted them high in the air. Tibia waved her arms helplessly.
A magnetic field! It's a trap!
Warrior and his henchmen stepped out of hiding.
And the beginning of the end for Photon.
On Intellistar, Mom's view screen lit up, showing what had happened.
Parsival, it's up to you now. Alone.
Bhodi eyed the young man skeptically.
But Parsival, you can't be more than 10 years old.
I'm a Photon Warrior, and I'm all Mom has left. Unless...
There was an uncomfortable silence. Finally, Bhodi sighed.
All right, I'll go.
Mom beamed Parsival and Bhodi behind a granite slab near the wreckage. Bhodi leaned around the rock and fired at Warrior. The alien whirled around to see who had shot at him. Parsival was horrified.
Bhodi, this isn't a game. You're on a team now. You've got to think before you act, or we'll all be killed. Now here's what we'll do.
Bhodi agreed, and they raced toward the wreckage, dodging phaser blasts. One shot struck near Bhodi. He flipped over into a forward roll and landed behind a large boulder next to Parsival.
This Photon Warrior stuff is great. I'm bigger and stronger than I was before. Watch this.
Before Parsival could stop him, Bhodi leaped to the top of the boulder. Suddenly, someone grabbed him from behind. It was Warrior. He played right into our hands. Let's destroy him slowly. Meanwhile, Parsible sneaked over to the wreckage where his friends were suspended in the air. He plugged in his computer, and the Photon Warriors floated to the ground. As they retreated, Bhodi kicked his way free and sprinted for cover. Parsible punched his computer, and the magnetic field whirred on again, this time lifting their enemies skyward.
Okay, gang, now let's send them home.
They opened fire, and the aliens faded into nothingness. A short time later, Bhodi and the others were back on Intellistar. Leon gripped his hand.
Thank you, Bhodi Li.
For what? I wasn't much help.
We'll learn. Can be great warrior. Leon, no.
A streak of light shot from Mom and wrapped around Bhodi's finger.
From now on, Bhodi Li, you are a Photon Warrior, Guardian of the Light. When there is need, your ring will flash. We will be waiting.
Blue light enveloped Bhodi once more, and he found himself in the Photon Center, aiming his final shot.
What happened? I'm back already?
He hesitated, and the green team zapped him. David jumped out from behind a wall.
Don't worry, Chris. This one's mine.
He blasted at the green home base. A moment later, the tournament was over, and David was the hero. As they turned in their gear, David looked at Chris.
Hey, what happened? You were one shot away from a new record.
I guess my mind was someplace else. But everything turned out okay, didn't it?
Denise came out from behind the counter and took David's arm. David grinned.
Yeah, Chris, everything turned out great. See you around.
That was the end of the story. If you would like to hear it again, turn the tape over.